What's up, YouTube? My name is Derek. My channel is Fast FZ09. It's a brand new channel. I've only had it for about 3 weeks because that's as long as I've been on YouTube. So I've been watching YouTube videos for years and thought I would just start my own. So anyway, thanks for watching this. First off, a little bit of background about myself. I live in central North Carolina, and so a lot of the roads that we ride on here are central to western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, and southern Virginia. Some of the best riding in the entire country is in the Appalachian Mountain Chain, and that's not too far from where we live. So we're real fortunate in that regard. I also live about 40 minutes south of Alton, Virginia, which is where VIR is located, Virginia International Raceway. Awesome track, a ton of elevation changes, and there's actually 3 tracks there. There's North Course, South Course, and Patriot Course, and Full Course. So you have a lot of options as far as track days there. There's numerous track days offered throughout the year. We're about an hour and a half north of Carolina Motorsports Park, CMP, which is in Kershaw, South Carolina. More of a flat track than VR. Not a lot of elevation there, but it's a cool track, and over the years done a lot of track days there as well. A little bit of background: the first sport bike that I ever had was a 2004 Yamaha R6. I bought it brand new in 2004. I was working at a dealership at the time, and within the first, I'd say 2 or 3 months, I was already doing track days at VR on that bike, so my learning curve was pretty fast just due to that. And I got in with a group of street riders years ago, 2004, 2005, that rode on the track as well, but were very, very competent street riders. And they kind of took me in and showed me the ropes a little bit, and I learned the roads that they ride, and my technique improved, and I'm still riding with those guys today. So I was real fortunate in that regard. So I had the R6, and I put about 50,000 miles on that bike, give or take, in the 3 years that I owned it. That's street and track combined. Never had a lick of problem out of the R6. It was just an awesome bike. It really was. It had a lot more bottom end than the 2006 to current R6 model does. A lot more bottom end power. It was a much better street bike. But after that, I went in with a buddy of mine and bought just a track only bike. We bought a 2006 Suzuki GSX-R 1000 from an ex AMA bike in California. The bike was completely hooked up. They probably had, oh gosh, at least 20, maybe even $21,000 in that bike originally. Everything. It had full Penske front internals and the forks, full Penske triple clicker rear end. The motor was built. It had every available option that you could do. I mean, granted, that bike raced AMA Pro Superbike, so I mean, it was legit. You couldn't really go out and play around on it, but it was fun. And my learning curve again increased because I was riding a bike that was 100% legit, but it was just too much damn money to maintain that thing and to ride it. It was very expensive, like $1,000 a weekend to ride that bike. But anyway, I took a few years off and focused on work, school, other things, got married, and I guess it was maybe 4 months ago, my wife gave me the go ahead and get another street bike. I was missing it. I love riding on the street. You can do it every single weekend, and I like riding with a group of guys that I trust, and there's a lot of camaraderie in our riding group, and you can do it every single weekend. So a lot of fun, and we live near some of the best roads in the entire country, honestly. But I went out and bought a 2014 Yamaha FZ-09. The bike is phenomenal. It's the first naked bike that I've ever had, and a lot of the guys that I'm riding with now have transitioned from riding traditional super sports, faired sport bikes, and they're all riding naked bikes now. One of the main guys that I ride with has one of the new KTM 1290R Super Dukes, which is basically a naked RC8. It's a 190 horsepower naked bike. Badass. It's awesome. Some of the other guys have got FZs. And some of the guys have got some Triumph Speed Triples, which are pretty cool too. But yeah, here's my bike. It's a 2014 Yamaha FZ09. Just to show you some of the upgrades that I've done to it. The bike does have a full Yoshimura exhaust. It's an R77 stainless header and mid pipe as well as the can. It's a stainless tip or stainless pipe with a carbon tip on it. The bike also has a a Bazzaz fuel controller, the Z5 system that's under the seat, and I'll pop the seat off here in a minute and show you guys that. But that's the aftermarket fuel controller, and it piggybacks onto the stock ECU. I have not had the stock ECU reflashed. In my opinion, it doesn't really need to be done. But yes, I got that done. It's got a K&N air filter. The air box has been modified basically at the shop where I had everything done. They basically cut holes in the air box to allow more air to flow. And the bike has also been dynoed. If you see on the handlebars here, it's got the map select switch from Bazzaz. It's got 2 engine maps. One is a wet map. If you switch it down, that's the map that I always ride in. That's full power. The bike has different power modes, A, B, and standard, which I always ride the bike in A mode with the map select switch in the full power position. It's got a Vortex gas cap cover, which is pretty cool. It's keyless. All you do is spin that. That comes off just like on a race bike. Pops right off, which is pretty cool. Driven actually makes one as well, but I went with the Vortex option on that. Just lock that back into place. But on the handlebars, it's got stock bars, but I'm running the ASB lever in the front. It's a breakaway lever. It's also adjustable. You can see as I'm twisting that, the distance from the bar end, from the grip rather, to the lever increases based on. I always ride with one finger, so I ride mine kind of far out actually. That's about where I'm at right there. And my levers are almost straight out like a dirt bike. It's just a personal preference. I've always ridden like that. As far as protection for the bike, being it is a naked bike, it's very exposed. It's got a Cox Racing radiator guard on the front, which you can see here just basically protects the stock radiator from debris getting kicked up. A lot of the roads that we ride on have a lot of they're in the mountains, so a lot of the roads have loose debris and gravel and a lot of shit that can get kicked up. So that's basically just to protect the front end. The bike also has Woodcraft front axle sliders on either side, which is pretty cool. It's got stainless lines in the front. It's got the split system, which you can see I've had all that zip tied together. It's just a little cleaner. And it's got Woodcraft frame sliders, which I've had that on every sport bike I've ever owned. It's also got a full set of GB Racing engine case covers on both sides. That is just cheap insurance. If the bike were ever to go down, God forbid, that is way cheaper than not having them. So it's also got stainless. I use the rear brake a little bit in the mountains, just to kind of keep the bike steady under pretty drastic braking conditions. Honestly, on some of the roads that we ride, you're braking really fast. So I do use the rear brake a little bit, so that's stainless. It's got a fender limiter kit from Yoshimura, which the stock kit is just it is hideous. But that's just pure for aesthetics only. Over here, you guys can check this out. It's got a driven. There's the other set of engine case covers on this side by GB Racing. But the gearing is stock. It is stock gearing. I think on this bike is fine for the roads that we ride. I think Yamaha pretty much nailed the stock gearing setup. So I went with the driven set. The front sprocket is steel. The chain is a 520 chain, which is a little bit lighter. It's going to spool up a little quicker, less rotating mass. And on the rear, you can see the rear sprocket is stock gearing, but it is aluminum, so it's lighter. Like I said, there's less rotating mass on the rear of the wheel, so it's going to spin up just a little bit quicker. Nothing crazy, but you'll notice a little bit of a difference in acceleration. And it's also got Woodcraft frame sliders in the rear as well. And then just to lighten the bike up, it's got an anti-gravity battery, which I'll show you guys that in a minute. I'll pop the seat off and let you check that out, and then I'll show you some of my gear. So yeah, hang on just 1 second. All right, guys, got the seat popped off. I'll show you what I was talking about earlier. The bike does have a Z5 fuel controller by Bazzaz, which, like I said, piggybacks. This goes all the way to the stock ECU, which is under the airbox here, or on the airbox actually. It's also got a anti-gravity lightweight battery, If you guys have ever ridden a track prep bike, they're running really lightweight batteries, either a full spectrum battery, which is the brand name. They're running a full spectrum, or they're running a anti-gravity. And the reason that they do that is it's a good way to save weight in the top part of the bike. So therefore you're reducing the center of gravity. And when you're transitioning the bike from a right to a left or vice versa, you're actually going to notice that weight difference. A 5-pound weight savings, 6 pound, well actually this is about 7 pounds lighter than stock. That's going to feel like 20 pounds off the bike, 25 pounds off the bike at speed. But let me show you guys some of my gear real quick, and then I'll wrap this up. I got a couple of different suits that I've had over the years. This is the very first suit that I've ever had. This is a Yamaha Gareki suit. I bought it when I was working at the Yamaha dealership years ago. As you can see, I mean, it's just, it's been through it a time or two. And all this right here is not from crashing big bikes, but I raced Simra a few years, which is mini bikes, and we would play around on those, and that's what that's from. But you can see it's been through it. This is the suit I'm running currently. This is a Vortex Adrenaline RR suit. It's awesome. It's got real similar to the pilot suits. It's got armor in the elbows, armor on the shoulders and the front. Big arrow hump in the back, which is vintage, which is cool. Big stretch panels all the way around, all the way up this side as well. And the cool thing about how this suit is constructed is, if you'll notice, it's huge pieces of leather, which if you were ever to go down at the track and slide, or even if, God forbid, you're ever to go down on the street, it's going to protect you. You can see how big these panels are. This seam goes all the way right down the middle of the ass here, all the way around. All that is one solid piece of leather all the way to the front. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Really like that suit. As far as my helmet goes, I'm running the new AGV Rossi. It's a Rossi replica, the Corsa helmet. It's pretty cool. It's pretty expensive. This helmet was around retail about $900, but it's really light. As you can see, it's got the iridium shield on it, and it already came with tear-off posts. And you can see I got tear-offs on there right now. Tear-offs are not just for the track. If you got a helmet that's set up for tear-offs, it's pretty cool to have it on the street, honestly. If you get a lot of bugs or dust or debris on your visor, it's pretty cool to just grab a tear-off just like at the track, and you got clear vision. And it also protects your shield too. But yeah, I really like the helmet. It's got the rear splitter on the back, which works in tandem with the speed hump on your race suit. So you don't get a lot of head buffering with the wind that way. Always ridden Alpine Stars gear, and I've had a couple of sets of these, but I'm running the Alpine Star SuperTech Rs. These are the high vis, which they just look pretty cool. The boot system is a little different than what I had in the past. The original ones had the boot, the zipper actually went down this right here around the back side of the heel, but for the last couple of years it's been a side mount. And it's also got the inner booty system. If you guys can see that or not, with the speed lace. But yeah, this is Alpine Star's top of the line road race boot, and I'll wear it street riding as well. And really like those a lot. And then I got the matching gloves that I wear. These are the top of the line Alpine Star gloves. Pretty expensive. I think these retailed for around $300, but they're worth it. They're awesome. This is exactly what the top MotoGP guys are wearing. Lorenzo's wearing these. Marquez is wearing them. This is what Ben Spies wore. A lot of the top guys wear these, and I can see why. They're really light, and they're actually, parts of the glove are actually made out of kangaroo leather, which is a lot lighter than cowhide and more abrasion resistant. But they got good knuckle protection. Then these are actually a lot of the top gloves you'll see. The pinky finger and the ring finger will actually be joined together, just for additional protection. But yeah, that's my setup, and I'm sure I'll put more videos on online. But this was just a test run to see how it goes. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, thanks. All right.